Hey there. So I woke up today feeling a familiar feeling of feeling tight in my body and feeling like there's, the image is like there's a cage around my heart and feeling a sense of stuckness and feeling this longing for life, feeling this longing for what's truly alive and deeply connected and real. And I know that this is a feeling that I felt for a lot of my life. I felt this kind of crazy part of me inside myself that's like looking out at the world and what we're doing and is like, what's happening? Like, how can we not be standing for something more alive, how can we not be breaking open our hearts more deeply to each other? How can we not be welcoming each other into our hearts more fully? How can that not be the basis of how we feel out and feel the earth and this extraordinary life that we're a part of, and then found our society and our way of doing things on that? Why is that not happening? And I feel like this drive that I felt for so much of my life, for life and for heart and for the naked connection of who we are in our souls with each other, and for that being the basis of how we do things, is like, I don't think I'm alone. I don't think I'm the only one. I think that actually there's something in all of us that just longs so deeply for that which is more alive. And I think this really plays into our attitudes to political engagement and politics. And I think, politics and political engagement are really areas where we feel least alive and least connected and actually most polarized and most separate from each other. And we have I think we most have just a kind of a sense of collapse in us. So many of us, like, oh yeah, this is just how things are. That we have political systems that so often we feel so cynical about, that so many people feel so abandoned and betrayed by, that we often project on the people who want to be politicians and who are going to apparently hold positions of power for all of us, the least integrated and trustable characters. And what does that do to us? Something in us slumps, right? Like something in us is like, oh, this is how things are. And yet something that I can feel in that, that fire and that rage in my heart, is that there's a voice there that just wants to say, no, no, that is not how things need to be. And I can feel that that's the case in so many of us, that there's a voice in our heart and a voice in our body that has not forgotten what it means to be really alive, that's not forgotten what it feels like to be deeply connected, that's not forgotten a place where humanity is one and earth is one and life is one. So, Singularity stands for a form of political engagement and an invitation into political engagement that's actually radically different from anything we conventionally understand by politics. Because actually, what is politics really? Politics is really about channeling power. And power is life, people. Power is that vibration in our heart of life, in our bodies of life, in our souls of life. Power is, it stems and flows from that place in us that hasn't forgotten. And actually, it stems and flows from that place in us that's one with the life at the core of the earth itself. So political engagement then becomes about being part of the healthy flow and sharing of this life and of this power of the earth and of our hearts and of our souls and of our bodies, of the places in us that haven't forgotten humanity as one, earth as one, life as one. I see the tribalism and the separation that governs so much of how we human beings do things on this planet as it's part of our journey. We've learned not just to be individuals, but to be part of groups. And, that's a healthy stage of the evolutionary process, and it's past its use by date. And we know it, we can see it. The planet is showing us, the planet is in, arising with circumstances that are forcing us into a situation where we have no choice but to remember ourselves as one humanity, part of one earth, part of one life that we all share in. I had a conversation with someone the other day where they were saying to me, yeah, but John, this whole singularity thing, I don't know, maybe that's just more colonialism, just trying to put onto the world, more of a sense of some people deciding for everyone. What we really need is more pluralism, more honor for different cultures and communities around the world and their differences. And, I think we haven't got there yet. That I agree, we need that. I agree there's so much healing to be done between cultures, between nations, between indigenous cultures and more technologically developed nations, between cultures and races of different colors and backgrounds and histories. There is so much healing to do, yes. And I don't think that's enough. My stand in the world, the stand of this work, the stand of Singularity is like, that's not going to be enough, because the inevitable reality is we are one humanity. This is one earth. There is one life we're all sharing in that reveals itself in these moments where we're most connected to it, the birth and death of loved ones, when we're making love with each other, when our hearts are most exposed with the people that we love most, and they break open in ways where we can feel that that love isn't just for them, it's for all of us, that we're part of something extraordinary. So I want to seed, put some more seeds out there of political engagement. We can start to move into this as something radically different from how we've been relating to it, something that turns us on in our body and our heart and our soul, because it's about the flow and the sharing of power. The power of our heart, the power of our body, the power of our souls, the power of the earth, the power of life. And that we can flow this power, we can channel this power, we can share it to build systems that channel the best in us, in our children, in our communities, in our cultures, in the way we do education, in the way that we do our healthcare, in the way that we explore science and innovation to support the flourishing of the human species. But not just the flourishing of the human species in a way that's disconnected from the earth, but recognizes that we are one chord within a sevenfold symphony that is this earth, that we have multiple spheres of life and kingdoms that we are invited to form a part of as part of the flourishing of life here. So we can build systems of politics. We can build systems of how we relate to the sacred with each other. We can build systems of health and technology and environmental conservation that speak to that which we know in deep parts of us and have never forgotten is most sacred and real and true. In our bodies, in our souls, in our love, in our hearts. So this is the kind of politics I'm passionate about. This is the type of politics we're going to be exploring with Singularity. So I invite you, if you haven't already, go to our website. I'll put it below. Sign up with your email address. Make a space in your heart for this. Make a space in your heart for this new form or experiment of politics to be something that you want to be connected with, that you can feel that you have a connection to innately because you're a human being, because we all have a connection to this. Yeah.